Hello? Hello? Please, I know you can hear us. We are trapped here in the spaces between worlds. It is a wonderful yet terrifying place, and only our voices escape. You can help us. You can let us in before we go mad.
Attack of the Killer Squirrels by Steve T. Atwood, Montana, where all hell broke loose. You name it, we got it. Skinwalkers, cattle mutilations, flying saucers, orbs, and more. It's where shit hits the fan and rubber meets the road out on old Highway 66, where the teens drag race on warm summer nights. Not anymore. We've got a hell of a squirrel problem. Don't feed 'em after midnight. It's always after midnight. Damn blasted old farts just didn't understand, sitting like fools on their park bench with bags of squirrel feed. Other than the cattle, they were the first to go. Swarms of furry, teeth-filled vermin attacking and gnawing off their decrepit, leathery faces. Yeah, it's pretty fucking nuts. Pardon my pun. Chemtrails, planets aligning, blood moon rising, comet in the sky. Trump elected president. I'm sure had something to do with all of it. Or it could just be the natives getting restless. We were in the middle of a 2-year drought, and the Indians on the nearby res had taken to daily rain dances. The rain had yet to come. But did they summon something else? Grandpa always said, "You never know what kind of riffraff will wander in if you leave the door open long enough." This from a man who was born in a barn. Squirted out onto the hay and dirt, because old Great Meemaw went into labor while squeezing milk out of old Bessie's tits. Family lore says he wouldn't take a boob, so after cutting his umbilical cord with a pair of rusty garden shears, she hooked him up to Bessie's udder. How utterly ridiculous! No more so than where we find ourselves now, Atwood, Montana, where all hell broke loose. It's a quaint small town. Think Mayberry of the West. Everybody knows everybody, and we'd all give each other the shirts off our backs, and you'd damn better take it if you need it. Dirt, oil, grass stains, who gives a damn? You give what you give, and you take what you take. God didn't raise no fools in Atwood. When the whole damn mess started a week ago, the beginning of spring, we all met at the clubhouse that doubled as the town hall. Farmers, ranchers, miners, mill workers, business owners, along with the sheriff's posse, all 2 of 'em. Yep, Mayberry of the West, Sheriff Andy and Deputy Fife. I'm sure only their parents can remember their real names. Despite the ongoing turmoil, or maybe because of it, we started the meeting by pledging allegiance to the flag, one nation under God and all that. After we sat down, Mayor Maynard, yes, I'm not even kidding, stepped to the pulpit. Oh yeah, the clubhouse/town hall was also the local Missouri Synod Lutheran Church. Can I get a praise Jesus? Probably not, but we will definitely serve orange jello with shaved carrots after the meeting. Will your family feel the pain of the carrots on harvest day? Along with subpar coffee. Name brand isn't in the budget, and tongue-scalding water is cheap, as long as it's heated by coal. Beautiful, clean coal. The rotund balding man cleared his throat. Don't let appearances fool you. The man was flying jets over Iraq, bombing the shit out of insurgents while I was still in high school jerking off. He immediately went full politician mode, assuring us he was making great progress getting to the bottom of all the strange happenings around here. He had contacted our state governor and somehow gotten through to him the perplexity and urgency of our situation, without getting himself removed as mayor and committed to a mental institution, or funny farm as we like to call it in our neck of the woods. He continued on with more flowery words and enough hot air to fill up the Hindenburg. Oh, the humanity! Typical politician. Earl was the first to call Mayor Maynard out, shouting from the back of the room. "But what about them orbs, flying saucers, and Skinwalker me and my son saw the other day? I think it's them Skinwalkers responsible for the cattle mutilations." "Don't be ridiculous," responded Henry the mechanic. "It's them gray aliens. They're smearing the cow enzymes onto their skin to eat. It's the only way they can absorb the protein they need to survive." Mayor Maynard pounded on the pulpit with a large, hammy fist. "Order! Order! I'll take a number 5, supersized with a Coke to drink." Maynard sucked in his ample gut, puffed out his chest, and gave a stare about the room, cold enough to freeze them opinionated mouths starting to get warmed up. "It has come to my attention that some of you are blaming the Native Americans on our neighboring reservation for all of the unusual occurrences going on. I personally talked to Chief Dullknife this afternoon, and he assured me they are only trying to make it rain, not open portals or turn into giant wolves." "Well, then I'll be a monkey's uncle," cross-eyed rancher Bofus piped up. "Is he looking at me? You or Bofus?" "Them Indians been at it for over a year, and every summer we burn up more and more. All that ruckus has to be stirring up something, 'cause it sure as hell ain't stirring up no rain clouds." Famous last words tapered off as lightning flashed, thunder rumbled, and the door of the clubhouse town hall church burst open, and in strode Chief Dullknife, with his son, Little Dullknife. "Hey, hey, hey! It's Fat Albert!" Chief Dullknife was a big man, 6'3" and pushing 300 pounds. Rumor had it his wife was just as big. Fat-bottomed girls, you make the rockin' world go round. Little Dullknife was born a preemie, a runt who wasn't expected to survive the first week. Then he lived and grew, fed on deer, elk, and buffalo meat the second his teeth came in. Never met an Indian who didn't like a little extra meat on the bone. The room was quiet as a church mouse in an old folks' home as the hulking duo made their way down the aisle. The only sound heard was the pounding rain on a tin roof. Mayor Maynard reverently stepped aside as Chief Dullknife took the pulpit. Little Dullknife glowered at us from behind shiny black curtains of hair. It's one thing to be scalped quick and easy by a sharp knife, but a dull knife? Hell, that could take days. Having no doubt scalping was on Little Dullknife's mind, us white men put our mega hats back on our hair, just as a precautionary measure. An ounce of precaution is worth a pound of care, great Meemaw's words of wisdom, though I'm sure they weren't original. Is anyone original anymore? "You whiteys," Dullknife began, probably not the best way to start off his speech before a mixed breed of German, Irish, and Norwegians. "You have a serious problem going on in Atwood." "No shit, Tonto," came a cry from the crowd. Dullknife continued, ignoring the insult. "Sticks and stones. As you can hear, we have brought the rain. The drought has come to an end. However, the curse of our great ancestors is upon you who stole our land many generations ago. We didn't do this. You did it to yourselves." After that, Chief Dullknife and Little Dullknife made like a tree and got out of there. Didn't take a rocket surgeon to figure out we were on our own. Here we go again on our own. Even us uneducated white folk could savvy the meaning. Manifest destiny, coming home to roost. I say, boy, you give what you give and you take what you take. No apologies. Maybe we were fools after all. The meeting broke into the general chaos of sorts, only seen at the Capitol building on January 6th. It took Andy and Fife a minute to get everything back under control, with Deputy Fife threatening to use his only bullet if we didn't stop. Some went on home, but most of us headed for the Fallen Tree Saloon, where we pounded down paps with shots of whiskey, no Budweiser for patriots. We got drunk and talked a big game that amounted to a whole lot of nothing. other than an amazing hangover on Monday morning, a good old case of the brown bottle flu. I was on my way to work in the rusty city truck, chugging down water that immediately leaked from the open pores on my forehead. My pounding headache helped pump it out in geysers. The sun was shining again, blinded by the light. The radio weatherman said we were in for more record-breaking temps. We're having a heat wave, a tropical heat wave. Summer of Sam, coming in hot. So much for the end of the drought. Silly honky, rain dances are for natives. Polly want a cracker? No, Polly wants you the fuck off our land. Pulling up to the town park maintenance shed, I hopped out to do a little spring tinkering on the groundskeeping equipment. Wasted time if you ask me. Damn lawnmower and weed eater wouldn't be needed in a couple of weeks anyway. With this damn drought, there wasn't enough water in all Montana to keep the grass growing. We went to the desert on a horse with no name. Looking to the west, go west, young man, I saw Neil and Bob sitting on their park bench. The same park bench they'd sat on every morning for 10 years or more, since one had retired from the coal mines and the other from the timber mill, and both of 'em lost their wives to the big sea. They'd become a local staple, 2 peas in a pod. The high school youth called it the Neil and Bob Memorial Park Bench. Are your names Neil and Bob, or is that just what you do? More than one pair of sex-crazed teens had been chased from the bench in the middle of the night, trying to be forever immortalized as having truly experienced the Neil and Bob Memorial Park Bench. Are you experienced? Don't shine a blacklight on it after dark. They were drinking coffee, undoubtedly laced with Irish cream whiskey. Breakfast of champions. Bob smoked a Camel. What cigarette do you smoke, Doctor? Even though Neil's oxygen tank stood between them, tall and proud. Damn fools were feeding the squirrels. A flagrant middle finger to the sign on the bench stating, "Do not feed the squirrels." We had a hell of a squirrel problem in Atwood. Damn things got into everything. I nonchalantly made my way over to them, having no intention of scolding them for breaking the law. Not my job. I only got paid by the hour. My focus was on their thermos of hot, high-octane coffee. A little hair of the dog on a fine spring morning was just what the doctor ordered. After a bit of neighborly small talk, "Won't you be my neighbor?" and a few not-so-subtle hints, I was finally offered a cup of joe, more Jack than Joe, sweet nectar of the gods. I took a sip as I noticed them squirrels were acting a bit funny. I don't need no funny business. Overly aggressive, fighting over a single grain of food when there were many to be had. I stumbled backwards, wiping stinging sweat from my eyes. Was it just my imagination, running away with me? Or did the damn things look different too? Their usual laid-down chestnut hair stood up in spikes. Brown eyes suddenly swirled to yellow, and I swear I saw a forked tongue flicker out of one of their mouths. "Houston, we have a problem." Day became evening as dark clouds appeared out of nowhere. It was about to rain on our parade. Thunder echoing was like a battle trumpet to the rodents. They stopped fighting amongst themselves and gathered in a group of a dozen or more, facing off mere feet from the old geezers on the bench. Mexican standoff. Tiny lips sneered back to reveal sharp, pointy fangs. The growling they emitted matched the tone of rolling thunder. "Oh my, Grandma, what sharp teeth and low grumbly voice you have." "All the better to eat you with, my dear." Falling on my ass, I scooted backwards as the squirrels attacked Neil and Bob, ants swarming, biting and clawing skin cancer-riddled skin, injecting poison and tearing away chunks of flesh as their victims flailed wildly and screamed bloody murder. I may have been next, if not for Bob lighting another cigarette when the assault started, bending a single match from the entire book and using his thumb to strike it across the igniter strip. The whole damn book burst into flames as one of the killer squirrels chewed through the clear plastic tube of Neil's oxygen tank. "Fire in the hole!" I leapt to my feet and sprinted away, making it several yards before the tank erupted, hurling me forward in a headlong dive. Baseball, America's favorite pastime. I'm safe at second. Pete Rose would be proud, but my backside is on fire. My biscuits are burning. Stop, drop, and roll. Flames extinguished before I popped up and hauled ass for the truck. Mama wasn't around to patch up my burnt britches, but thankfully them killer squirrels weren't either. Normally I would frown upon such drastic measures as self-immolation, but in this case it was necessary for my survival. Death is necessary. I hopped in the work truck and headed at high speed for home. Jerry was a race car driver. The window wipers couldn't keep up with the pouring rain. It's raining cats and dogs. Even with my limited vision, I saw the masses of killer squirrels roaming the streets. I did my best to hit 'em when I could. An insane vehicular game of whack-a-mole. The citizens of Atwood were out and armed, and I watched more than one of 'em blasting the mutant pests into meaty oblivion, even as some fell in glory to the horde. A well-regulated militia is the backbone of freedom. We are not a democracy. It is honor to fall in battle. Perhaps today is a good day to die. I made it home to my own arsenal and joined in the fight. You gotta fight. Fight for your right to party. I could have done without the invite. Day turned to night as the battle raged on. Roid rage. Squirrels on steroids. Now I've seen everything. I'm not ready to die. You can take your honor and shove it where the sun don't shine. It was blacker than a coal miner's asshole when orbs and flying saucers appeared. Hey, Mr. Spaceman, I didn't do anything wrong. Our weapons were useless as tits on a bull. I don't care if he identifies as a milk cow. You wouldn't try and milk him, would you? The orbs darted about our heads, blinding us, hindering our ability to see. I've got disco fever. When we tried to hide, the spotlights from flying saucers illuminated us, giving away our positions of ambush. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. That's me in the corner. That's me in the spotlight, losing my religion. I was running down the avenue when in a flash of lightning I saw an Indian, naked save for the animal skin draped around his waist, his face smeared red with war paint, upraised tomahawk in hand as he closed in from behind on Billie Jean. She's not my lover. Still wouldn't want to see her end up a steaming pile of Skinwalker scat. I put him in my sights and squeezed the trigger of my 7mm mag as lightning flashed again. A ginormous black direwolf leapt at Billie Jean's fleeing form. Ah-woo! Werewolves of London. Even above the relentless rain, I heard the solid whump of a bullet strike home. Home, sweet home. Home is where the heart is. The wolf changed direction mid-air, hitting the ground and rolling before regaining his feet and bolting away. I threw another shot at him but missed. After that, we took shelter in the clubhouse town hall church. Barricading ourselves in, we took stock of our guns and ammo. We were in dire straits. No sultans of swing here. Just a bunch of refugees. Don't have to live like a refugee. Bullshit? Bullshit! The Reverend prayed as the mayor shouted into his cell phone, "Send in the troops! The National Guard, the Army, the Marines, the Air Force! Send everybody! All hell's broke loose in Atwood!" Rancher Bofus was beating on the door, hollering at the top of his feeble tar-coated lungs. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock. Who's there? Let us. Let us who? Let us in, it's cold out here. By the time we unbarricaded the barricaded door, Bofus had been drug off by the scurry of pissed-off killer squirrels. He went screaming softly into that dark night. Like our ancestors before us, we poked guns out of window holes, blasting away at our attackers. Circle the wagons! We fought them off from dusk till dawn. In the end, the rain was a blessing and a curse, washing away the killer squirrels in currents of muddy brown water. Oh, black water, keep on rolling. We emerged from our shelter at daybreak, dazed and confused, gathering in cautious groups with the rest of Atwood's survivors. The rain had stopped for now, but our town was in complete ruin. We counted our dead and missing, Custer's last stand. No one came to help. No National Guard, no FEMA, no Mormons with their blankets and pamphlets. I doubt we'll even get our $750. It's as if Atwood, Montana, didn't exist at all, trapped somewhere in the spaces between worlds. In the following weeks, we mourned as we buried our dead, those we could find anyways. We take care of our own here in Atwood. The rain comes and goes. It's a normal Montana spring, at least for now. What really is normal in the grand scheme of things. We cleaned the streets, repaired our homes, and got the coal mine and mill operating again. All of this and still no word from the outside world. We didn't need 'em. The farmers and ranchers regrouped, fields tilled and planted, fences rebuilt, cows rounded up. Get along, little doggy. We are getting along. There hasn't been a squirrel sighting in months. No flying saucers, orbs, or skinwalkers either. The nearby res is eerily quiet. School's starting again soon. The Neil and Bob Memorial Park bench has been cemented back in place, this time with a plaque. Ode to a couple of crazy old farts, Neil and Bob. They lived, they worked, they died. Do not feed the squirrels. You can't stop progress, only hinder it. Do you savvy my meaning? It's manifest destiny. Sorry about your bad luck. Why can't we all just get along? What we've got here is failure to communicate. Some men you just can't reach. So you get what we had here last week, which is the way he wants it. Well, he gets it. I don't like it any more than you men.